Blackstone and Skyboat Media present The Return by Walter de la Mare. This book is read by Stefan Rudnicki. Look not for roses in Attalus his garden, or wholesome flowers in a venomous plantation. And since there's scarce any one bad, but some others are the worse for him, tempt not contagion by proximity, and hazard not thyself in the shadow of corruption. Sir Thomas Browne. Chapter 1. The churchyard in which Arthur Lawford found himself wandering that mild and golden September afternoon was old, green, and refreshingly still. The silence in which it lay seemed as keen and mellow as the light, the pale, almost heatless sunlight that filled the air. Here and there robins sang across the stones, elvishly shrill in the quiet of harvest. The only other living creature there seemed to Lawford to be his own rather fair, not insubstantial, rather languid self, who at the noise of the birds had raised his head and glanced as if between content and incredulity across his still and solitary surroundings. An increasing inclination for such lonely ramblings, together with the feeling that his continued ill health had grown a little irksome to his wife, and that now that he was really better she should be relieved at his absence, had induced him to wander on from home without much considering where the quiet lanes were leading him. And in spite of a peculiar melancholy that had welled up into his mind during these last few days, he had certainly smiled with a faint sense of the irony of things on lifting his eyes in an unusually depressed moodiness to find himself looking down on the shadows and peace of Widderstone. With that anxious irresolution which illness so often brings in its train, he had hesitated for a few minutes before actually entering the graveyard. But once safely within, he had begun to feel extremely loath to think of turning back again, and this not the less at remembering with a real foreboding that it was now drawing towards evening, that another day was nearly done. He trailed his umbrella behind him over the grass-grown paths, staying here and there to read some time-worn inscription, stooping a little broodingly over the dark green graves. Not for the first time during the long, laborious convalescence that had followed apparently so slight an indisposition, a fleeting sense, almost as if of an unintelligible...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?